Hello and welcome to round number 5 of the TCR Touring Car Series here for Anti-Store Racing here at Oulton Park today for round number 5. We're at the halfway mark now of the season, and today is sure to be a greatly entertaining once again from the touring cars as always. Make sure the audio works, and it does. Hello, Kevin saying first. The cars look fantastic. The circuit is fantastic. As we watch Neil just go a little bit wide. It's really on your edge stuff here at Oulton Park. It should be an absolutely fantastic 2 races. Of course, 2 15-minute races. The second one, top 8 reversed. And of course, 15-minute qualifying coming up in less than a minute's time. Yeah, not a minute's time, actually, as I say that. So a few of the cars going around. So five rounds in now. We've done 4. As there's one of them having a moment. That's Arjan. Does he find the wall? No. Luckily there, he does come back onto the road. But it is really on your edge stuff for this circuit. The island configuration here today. So it's the shorter layout that the British touring cars use. I'm sure, as you can see Charlie on the brakes there, the rear stepping out heavily on the hairpin. And you go up over the crest and back down to the chicane. That over the crest there is where a massive crash happened this year. Oh, what's the driver now? No, I know him. I do. It's oh, which driver was it? It was the one in the Hyundai. I know him. I know his name. It'll come back to me at the end, I'm sure, of the stream. I'm sure it will. But ended up having to get extra sponsorship because he wasn't going to make it in a season. I know Colin Turkington was involved. It was one of the Hyundais. I know which one it was, but I can't remember his name at the moment. I could show you a picture of him, but I couldn't tell you his name. But yeah, we've had 4 rounds already. All of them being extremely different races. You know, Brands Hatch had that 4-way scrap in the reverse grid race as we now finished practice going into qualifying. We had, what do we have at was round number 2. Round 2 was a good one. Well, they're all pretty good, I must admit. I don't say so. But round 2, where do we go for round 2 after Brands? I can't even remember. We got Silverstone, that was it, wasn't it? Silverstone was round 2, which was absolutely chaotic. I must admit, there was just cars everywhere at Silverstone. Very bumper-to-bumper racing, but cars everywhere in that one. Then we went to Donington for round number 3. That was a bit more content. There was a good fight in race number 1 between the top 2 to 3. You know, it was really good racing. And then last time out in Sandown was a bit chaotic at the end in race 2, but again, a bit calmer than the likes of Silverstone. So we'll see what today brings here at Oulton Park, as they've all filed now out on to the road to start their qualifying session. Last couple of cars heading out. 15 minutes to get the best lap possible they can in to set the grid for race number 1. While we're here, we'll show you the championship standings as we head into this round. The Gaff leads. The Gaff isn't here. From what I can see, the Gaff is not here today. The championship leader isn't here, so big time for everybody else to score some points. Sadly for him, not here. Tony and P6 also not here. They're the big just missing drivers. So a few others missing, of course, but on the top of the tables, those are the ones that are missing. So massive shame for them to be missing out on some good points here. So we could see a change at the top of the standings. Brandon is here, Marcelo's here as well. They're in P2 and P3, very close between them. It's joint P4 for Steve and Stephen. Can't wait for that battle to continue on the circuit so I can continue to try my hardest to get the correct names. Tony in P6 not here, only a point ahead of Robert, which is here, so he should take that. He could take that in qualifying. He could go level course point for pole. Neil is here in P9 as well as Niels, and Kevin's here, and a few others down there are also here. A new driver as well in the mix. We have a look at that as we're now at a halfway point. So if you do want to join, it's now half price as well, just a note. That's a thing to always know. It's half price now entries as we're at the halfway round, because that makes the most sense in the world. And that is a absolutely beautiful camera. I'm just going to get a few beautiful camera shots while we're in the first couple of minutes. I don't know what settings I've done. I've had to reset a lot of things, but the light is, I don't know if it is on the stream, but the light there was absolutely shining off of Charlie Lord's car. It's nice to have Charlie back. I think he's missed 2 rounds of Sandown and Donington, I believe he missed, but he's back here at Oulton Park, which apparently is a free circuit. I brought it when it wasn't free, but apparently now it's free, so that's always good to know. Do love a good race around on Parker. So yeah, this light really is. I'm not sure if it's just his car, but the light is shining off as Brandon there has a weird line. Same with a few cars actually up front, having a weird, interesting line into the last corner. But yeah, radio check from the stewards. It's nice to have a few good little shots there of the cars as they all cross the line. What are the first lap times of this time? I think I did see Brandon was going quickest, but he must have done an off track, which is very easy to do around here to note. So we'll see how often that happens, because I did a couple laps just to, you know, get my head around it. And out of here, right here on the exit here, if you go over that curb, there could have been one for Charlie. It doesn't come up on the thing saying he did or not, so I'd like to think he didn't. But yeah, they're really, really strict on the off tracks around this Oulton Park circuit. That have been not as easy as you think it should be in a front-wheel drive car, as well as a few others. Crossing Sebastian is a new driver here today. He's in the mix of a few cars in traffic and decides to power out, and look at that, and maybe pulled the handbrake when he parked it there. Then there is Brandon, which is now on a quick lap. Got a few cars in tow. Smart thing to do. I think that's Robert behind him, getting a nice little tow. There's a few, there you go, updates. And look at that corner. That corner's difficult because you're braking and then turning, and the way these cars work, the rear end really does want to get tail happy when you brake too hard. So you end up you don't want to slide through that corner, but it's very easy to get the rear end to slide into that corner. And there again, a rear end sliding for Brandon through the last corner. Bit of a tail happy rear end, but he keeps it under control. Does he take the top of the times? Steve at the moment is top. And Brandon does absolutely smash it. He goes top by a while. Not for long though. Marcelo is now P2, only by 3/10, so that gap went from miles to not as much in a couple of seconds. So Marcelo probably just at the back of this queue. He is. I think Steve in the pink car, somebody's having a moment behind, and that's Robert well off the road. And probably going to stay out of everyone's way as Neil's coming through. Marcelo's giving Robert the flash, but Robert's going to continue now with his lap. Well, he's obviously not really having a lap, but incident between car 14 and 38. Kevin and Neil, so that's happened at some point. Robert now gets out of the way of Marcelo. He probably didn't hold him up at all because they were in the braking zone, so I'd like to think he's okay there. I wonder what happened between those two. When I say those two, I mean Neil and Kevin, but they've continued on. Stephen Fry has been putting some good lap times from the practice I saw earlier today. He's now in P4. A couple of tenths behind, 5 tenths behind the Steve. We'll change that in full to gap so we can see exactly how far everybody is off. 9 cars have done a lap so far in the 5 minutes they've got. Another 10 minutes to go qualifying. It's mostly yellows for Brandon, but Marcelo has done an improvement in one sector, green the rest, so he could at least be challenging here. He is only a couple points behind Brandon in the points. Brandon hasn't managed to get pole in the past couple rounds, but the gaff isn't here today, so maybe he can this time round. And Neil goes P3. Marcelo does improve to only now a 10.5 behind Brandon. So again, just as we always see in the Touring Car Series, it's going to be close for pole, which is starting to become less and less of a shock as the new driver, which I wanted to show as Neil pulls off to the side on the runoff. Carmen, I think it's, yeah, I'll say it's Carmen. Lovely livery, look at this. Got a nice speeding dogs, look at that. Lovely. Woof, was that woof woof or boom boom? I wanna have a look at the back of that car again. It's a nice looking car, that. Nice white car, different to the rest. Nice colours. 2, 1, 2. Oh, I didn't get to see. Was it woof woof or boom boom? We will get a rear end shot of that. I think that's vroom vroom on the side, so I think what it is. It's a nice livery there. Hyundai joining for the rest of the season. Good to see. And put it P4 at the moment, so we'll see if he can continue the challenge top. Well, Niels goes P5. Brandon's on a couple of purples. Marcelo's gotten green and purples again. He's got slightly wide there in the background. Got some of his wheels on the grass. That's going to help his, not going to help his run on into the final corner, so he might not improve, but Brandon looks like he will improve as he crosses the line. Not the best lap in the world, but he does improve even more. It's 127.3, he's now 6 tenths clear. Does Marcelo find any time? He finds a lot as well. He's down only 2 tenths. So they're continuing to ramp up as they always do. Robert goes P4 now as well as he crosses the line, so there is time in this lap I only did a couple of laps, and I must admit I was nowhere near these times, not with a setup, but with at least at Sandown I was a bit closer than here without a setup. But yeah, look at them, they're absolutely flying out there. It's a very different circuit to Sandown, I must admit. Stephen Fry now goes P3, very different circuit here, a lot tighter. The corners are very different. You know, got the hairpin, the chicane. Oh, there's the rear end again. The rear end's a lot more tail happy than it was, I'd say, at Sandown. Sandown was a difficult circuit to do, but it had that daring corner and quite tight 90-degree ones. It did have some massive curves in the chicane. Here it doesn't really have massive curves. It does have the chicane with the tyre walls on the inside of it, which I don't think we're going to be able to see anyone just do. No, they've all sort of gone through. I think Stefan will be closing to it soon. But Brandon, again, going purples in his little mini sectors. See if he can improve. Marcelo's out there as well, but he's not improving, I'd say, on his personal best lap. So he'll be staying second for now. They have pulled away from the rest of the field slightly. Still time to go in qualifying, though, as Brandon comes to the line. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. Only just, though. He's only just off. I want to just have a look at Costa there in the pits. That is an absolutely fantastic way. That's not the one I wanted. Absolutely fantastic way of parking your car. Look at that. That is brilliant. That is how you park your car on the outside of a garage. Exactly how they would in touring cars. Just park it there, so mechanics do the work to it. And that's lovely. That is really pleasing for me. So thank you for that. Just want to point that out. We've got all 14 cars now have done our lap time. Neil's just getting out of the way of a few cars. Anybody on a fast lap? Is Kevin coming to the end of his? Doing some personal bests. Can he improve from P13 at the moment? We'll have a little look. Steve currently in P8. Let's see if he's improving. I think he's slightly improving. Does Kevin improve from P13? He does, but into P12 he goes. His battle with Costa continues on. All season long. Where's Robert then? Robert coming towards the end of his lap now. Bit of dust being thrown up from the car in front, which is Marcelo. Difficult corner this one. Marcelo has got the personal. He's got the fastest first sector, but lots and lots of yellow, so probably not improving. Robert seems like he might improve on his time. If he does find 2 attempts here, get P4. Quite a lot of them in different cars here as well, just a note. They cross the line. Marcelo does improve, I think, but Robert also improves as well. Robert goes P4. It's close for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Good to see, but it's only a 10th between the top two again. Qualifying continuing to be close. Only 5 minutes left now, so not that many laps left to get in. Just had a look at a few different things next. Where are we at next week? Next week. We start to next week? Ooh, I shouldn't see. I should know. Actually, I do have a graphic I can just put up in a second, actually. I will go to the good old, see if anyone's improving. Brandon's got a few mini sectors that he looks like he might be improving on. Change to that. Where is what I'm looking for? It's Snetterton 300 layout. Next week. I think Brandon's properly improving. He's got a few yellows though. He might not. In the end, says that he is definitely improving, but let's see when he crosses the line. Does Brandon improve? He does improve, only just, but a bit more of a gap now. There's Steve's pink car coming out of the pits. Have a look at Steve's car. I can't remember what this is for, because he obviously normally has the Lightning McQueen livery. No, sorry, he didn't. He had the Hot Wheels livery. But this month he's changed to the camouflage pink, and I believe there's a reason exactly for that. I can't remember. It's definitely for an awareness month. But I'm not going to suggest which one off the top of my head. Car 28 looks good. It does look good, Costa. Is it out on circuit now, is it? No, it's still parked fabulously. I see. And car incident between car 14 and 31 under investigation. So that's Steve and Kevin. So something's happened there that we haven't seen. Robert again says that it's under investigation anyway what's happened. I don't think I can find anything. No, no one's had contact of mine. They just went off apparently. But Steve out the way there. Yeah, I'll have to find out from Steve what it's for, but it's definitely an awareness month for something along the lines in pink, but I can't remember what exactly. So, but we do have the rest of the month to note, so I think we'll find out before next week, and then I'll give you that information. Snetterton, which is a completely different circuit again. It's a 300 circuit, absolutely flat, and a lot of tight corners in the infield of that track. And investigation net code at pit exit. Oh, that's unfortunate between the two of them. Hopefully that gets sorted for the race. Does Robert improve? It said he was, but he ends up going all greens and continuing. Not many pitting along the way here, so they've obviously fueled up and just kept going and going and going. Sebastian looks to be improving. His first time out in the TCR cars. And they get used to the front wheel drive. It's lovely that he's got the blue stripe compared to Neil's yellow. You see at the top the blue and the blue mirrors instead of the yellow of Neil's, which is in the pit at the moment, so I can't show you, but that is the difference between Sebastian and Nils, which is nice. Marcelo's now pitted, so that's his qualifying over. It's going to be qualifying over pretty certain for most people here. Sebastian crosses the line, improves, stays P10. Yeah, I'd be surprised because at the 15-minute mark, the session will end. Marcelo's coming back out of the pits now, but won't have enough time to even get round to start a lap. Oh, it's smart. Okay, he's doing practice starts, is Marcelo. Is he going to do another one? Let's go on board, see if he does another one, will he? Oh, he's going to pull out the way. Sure if he's going to do another one on the exit. Well, Brandon at the moment has got pole. No one seems to be beating him. He might improve slightly on himself if he's managed to as he crosses the line. Does he improve on himself once again? He hasn't managed to, but he does stick it on pole for race number 1 here. Everything quickly updates. We'll go to the race. See if we can see Niels. Niels there. You see Niels right there in the yellow, has the yellow stripe and wing mirrors in the background. Quickly, if we have a chance, bring up the grids before we start. So Brandon will take pole and an extra point to his championship as well. Marcelo will take second. Stephen takes P3. Robert P4. Neil P5. New driver Carmen takes P6. Steve P8. Steve P7. Niels P8. Charlie takes P9 in his return. Sebastian P10 in his debut. Peter P11 and P12 for Arjan. And then following them, we'll go over to it. Following them will be hello, Kevin and Costa will round up the grid. Ah, I see. Obviously, I will. Oh, that's dead on like me. Let me. That good? GDO. Lovely. It may go a little blurry at times, I must admit. So you might not see exactly the everything you want to see with the interval and the rest, but you can see the cars. They sit quietly on the grid, waiting to go. What's the countdown saying? 20 seconds until everybody has to be on the grid. I think we're missing... Who are we missing? Not fully on the grid just yet, I think. Niels and Robert. No, Robert's on there, so everybody seems to be on the grid. Maybe one at the back. I think Kevin's not on the grid, but we'll wait the extra 4 seconds. Here we go then. The lights are going to come on for race number 1 here today. It's going to be a tight couple of corners, especially going down the hill into turn 2. They're away. It's a good start. I think Robert might get one of the best in the Audi. He's been covered off by Marcelo quite nicely. They're about 3 wide further back. They are 3 wide further back. Everybody seems fine. Steve's been turned around by Niels. No one's collected anyone, I think, and hope. Everybody has, but it's sort of split the grid in half. Steve keeps it out of the wall. Side by side for Charlie and Sebastian. But I think other than that slight turn 1 contact, it's pretty clean and good from the rest of the pack. Yeah, it's created 2 trains immediately splitting the grid in half. as Charlie's getting absolutely attacked by everybody. Everybody's involved in that second battle. As a few go deep and wide, they should single file out now over the bridge, but kind of a good start. Unfortunately, it was it Peter in the end? Sorry, that may have been. Well, it was, wasn't it? No, it was Peter. No, it was Steve, wasn't it? Steve was the one that got. Oh, you won't be ignored. Hang on, and now you will be. In 3, 2, 1. Da-da. There you go. You're good now.
Test.
You should be good.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Oh, why has it gone like that? It's gone gaps and overalls. Hang on. There we go. Right, there's a car massively off in the background. It's Charlie. He's kept it back on. He's on rally crossing. He loses place to Sebastian. And it settles down nicely, I think, there. And everybody should be okay. Steve is on the back of the field immediately. Charlie's gone off again, nearly. Oh, he's going to get attacked now for P7. Trying to work out why it's not showing all 14 cars on the left. There's a lot of movement, but I think Charlie should stay there for now. That's why. There we go. Now it'll show all 14. Haha. Right then. Charlie now again under attack. Oh, it's going to be close. Post-race run over car number 16, which will be Nils for turn. I assume that's for turn 1, which makes a little bit of sense. Nils the attacking a little bit of a definitely a bump from its bomb in there, and he's going to actually lose a place to Arjan, I'd say as well. Gave Charlie a little bit of a nudge, but lost time and speed and momentum in that, and he might lose, but he's actually managed just to keep it. He's out-dragged him there. Quite close further back between Costa and Steve, and Costa's now just lost out to Steve. Continuing to try and get past Charlie for P7. Now to the outside. It will become the inside if he can stay there. And surely he will have the inside. It's going to be a tight one. It's a difficult corner this to go through on your own, let alone side by side. It's great racing and he's through. Good move completely. And Niels
lost the position by hitting Charlie Lord there.
Niels around the outside. Let's have a look. Niels does get him. So Niels is through. So yeah, a little bit argy-bargy, but controlled argy-bargy. It's not seeming to work for people. But close single file racing. He managed to get his man in the end, Carmen. He got past Charlie. Niels got past Arjan as well. Absolutely cars everywhere. I think Peter Greenwood's now got Steve Hayward in the background. Steve's off the road, and I think so is Peter. Peter's off as well. Not sure if they touched or they just... I know that they may have touched because Steve looks like he may be letting him back through, if I'm not wrong there. That's deep, but he should survive. Kevin's crashed apparently in P11, but I just saw him in the background continuing, so he may have just had a moment into the hairpin. Let's see if he goes over the brow. There he is in the barrel, so yeah, he's fine. I haven't even looked at the front of the field, but it's been great in the mid-pack. And now I now see your messages in the chat. That's a lovely view of the back of their cars as they go through. Not sure exactly which corner number that is in the end, or name. I have to find out, but absolutely fantastic corner in the end. Right, so let's look what's going on.
Seems like everyone got this distance between each other.
Oh, Charlie's in the wall.
Oh.
I think he's luckily just bounced off. All the wheels are pointing the same direction. You were right about there was a gap until Neil. Now Neil, I think the car in front's had a slide through turn 1. Now he survived and they all stay as they were, but Charlie's hit the wall there, so he's going to have some damage on the left side as he massively goes over that curb. I didn't even find that earlier when I did a couple laps. Neil's going to have a good run. Charlie defends the inside line nicely. 10 minutes to go in this race, and first 5 minutes have absolutely flown by. Charlie's sort of almost drifting there under the brakes on the rear end there, but he defends nicely. Neil's trying to make up some time after that crash, and I think Steve and Costa have had an incident. That's extremely close to the wall from Charlie. That's a lovely camera angle. Let's have a little look and see what's happened here. I assume the stewards were saying they were looking into this one. We'll see, as it says they both crashed. I assume this is into the hairpin. Quite a long way back if it does end up being into the hairpin. Ooh, does he hit him in the end? Oh, he does. Tags him right at the end.
That was not gonna happen.
No.
It was a bit too much forced entry.
He's letting him go. Yeah, he lets him go in the end as well, so he gets placed back. And it says the lead's changed, but it really hasn't, so I don't know why it's told me that, but yes, that's unfortunate for the two of them. But yeah, there was a
fastest lap though.
yeah, you're right.
Brandon.
He's closed the gap, fastest lap.
Oh, Neil's drifting.
Ooh. That's losing some time. That will Charlie will be happy with that. He'll think, oh, finally. I have to look in my mirrors for a minute.
With Arjan, now you can keep up and get some slipstream and try to pass him before even the happen.
A little run. Let's see if he tries what we just watched Steve, I think, accidentally do, to be honest, looking at the way Steve's car was on the brakes. I think there's actually a possible move from Neil here in P4 on Robert. Robert covers the inside a little bit late, but does so instant between 31 and 28, post race benefit 31, and that is the incident we saw. We did see Steve give the place back to Costa, but so he actually hasn't passed him yet, but he has got a 5-second post-race penalty for it anyway. So when he does get past, he's going to have to try and get a gap anyway, but Costa might feel no further action between 32 and 31, which is the Peter and the Steve one, which that's been resolved as well. So the stewards are quick on their toes today. I think Steve has now just got past Costa for P13. But P4 battle, Robert versus Neil, and the fast lap goes back to Brandon. An extra point, of course, a fast lap. Well, there's been quite a lot going on as well. A bit of a spilled film spread as well, but I'd say that was from turn 1 crash. That's sort of half the grid.
Yeah, but they're still halfway through the race, so there's still many opportunities for another G of even the leaders, even positions, anything can happen. Because we are seeing a lot of people drifting on turn 1 especially, and even going off track sometimes.
Yeah, it's a tight circuit as well. There's not actually that much track, to be honest, and as soon as you do go off, it's onto that grass, and it does drag you out, especially in these cars. On that curb there, you can easily put a wheel on, and it just drags you wide. And then the
These cars are four-wheel drive, so they can still keep up, as if it was a rally car or something.
well, it's front wheel drive only.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just sort of drags them out onto the grass, and then it's a well of a time.
He was defending on the inside.
Be a interesting move to go all the way around. Maybe get a better run on the exit.
Robert.
Will he find the inside for turn 1? Not quite. Not quite yet. We'll see. He does look for the inside. He's pushing Robert a bit there. Well, he's not obviously pushing him without touching. So Robert is right on the edge of his driving ability, or the car's ability, as we go into turn 2. They're actually, you'd say they're closing on Steven here for P3 as well, wouldn't you?
Possibly yes. If Robert can keep it together, especially perfecting those braking points, he can get even closer, get the slipstream, and even get away from Neil that is behind.
No attack this time by those. You could easily hit those tyre walls on the inside there, and they will destroy a track rod end and rip your wheel off and bend it. So yeah, easily done on those tyre walls on the inside of the chicane. So that could be where a race is not won, but easily lost for a driver.
Yes, I've had that happen a lot of times with many cars. It's a really complex set of chicanes because you can't really cut as much, but you also need to prepare to the left corner.
Yes.
So it's a certain line you always have to take and nail it perfectly.
Oh, they've both gone wide!
Both went in as well.
Both going rally crossing. That's a wide entry this time. You get a better exit.
Stephen got actually further away from Robert. So he's not gonna get the slipstream Robert for Steven.
Yeah, he lost that edge, so you'd say advantage Neil slightly because of that.
Now Neil has to put everything in, actually pass Robert, while he's still far away from.
He's got what? He's got 5 minutes to do it.
He's super close now. Maybe he will try it now. If he can actually place himself on the inside, maybe.
Has a look. It'd be Robert didn't even think about defending, so
Yeah.
feels comfortable. Are the closest two on the circuit. Sebastian and Karim are having their first race today, and they're in P6 and 7, respectively. Quite close on the circuit as well, so good for them too. Stephen got a podium last time out in Sandown. Looks to try and repeat that here with a third at the moment. There, Niels is looking. Robert doesn't even think about it. It just turns in. He's confident that he's not going to have that done. Not going to be the easiest pass for Neil here.
So far, the top 5 that started are still on the same position that started.
Wow.
So they haven't really changed much.
Quite surprising, actually. The rest of the field, though, has been shuffled about quite a bit. Oh, there's a drift. Roberts, is he still drifting? Yeah, he is, and that's definitely Neil's place now.
There we go. Finally, a change of position for the top 5.
As you said, it happened.
Yes. Commentator's curse, I guess.
I feel bad for Robert now. As soon as you said it, Robert just like, oh, I'll change that.
Look how well Neil did that happen. Now I think he can actually pass him before the race ends. I think he can even go for P3.
You think P3 is possible? Yeah, it's not far up the road, is it?
No, Neil only got stuck behind Robert, but he was clearly a faster car. Look at the distance he's already pulling out from Robert.
Yeah, got a nice gap there. Today, see what's going on for P6 between Sebastian and Karim. They're quite close now for P6. 2 minutes to go. We reckon it's normally around 11 lap race. We're on lap 9 at the moment. There's a look here for... No, he's not going for that and thinks better of it. I think Charlie Lord's gone off again in the background there, and Niels has now gone through.
Evan says it's low.
Turn you up. Yeah, oh, yes, of course.
Yes.
Those.
Just
There you go. That
possible. Can someone tell me if it's alright now?
That might be too much, but that's better, definitely. There we go. Yeah, it's a guarantee that will be better.
Alright. Yes, it is me, Paulo. I just read the chat. I forgot about the racing chat. So, how are we? We are a minute left. I think it's gonna be last lap next one, right?
Look at the clock. We've got 45. Yeah, I reckon where is our leader? I reckon it might be close. He's got 30 seconds to get to the line, to be honest with you. He might get there to make last...
Be the last lap right now.
He gets to the line, so we're going to go on to the last lap now, yeah. We are going to get 11 laps in, so Brandon will cross the line to start the final lap.
That means probably Steven will keep his P3 on the first heat race.
Yep, at the moment, he's got a second back. Keeping it close. Realistically, closest battle is now for P6. Of course, top 8 get reversed, so at the moment, Niels starts on pole for race 2. Charlie Lord just actually lost that place last lap by going off. At the moment, that's unfortunate because Niels has a 5-second penalty, which would put him back behind Lord, but can't put it in time, so it actually means that Charlie will start P9 and Niels will start P8. But I think the points will swap around, so unfortunate for Charlie not to get the pole position start, but we'll get the points. He's gone off, I think, apparently again. So Charlie's having the most consistent time about it. So Brandon has dominated Heat 1 today. He does have the fast lap just about in the end. He's going to lead every lap as well. He's getting all the bonus points in this one. They go under the bridge. And goes into the final corner. I think it's close, yeah. I think they're swapping. Peter and Steve are swapping, or at least possible. Brandon will take heat number 1 today. He crosses the line. Marcelo takes P2, so well done to them two. Stephen should take P3 and will take P3. What's happening for P12? It's the Hondas are pushing each other. So we got a race literally pushing each other up the hill there, I think.
Pushing.
He's got one more chance to get him on the brakes into the last turn. Charlie Lord had slowed right down. What's happened to Charlie? Why is he... Charlie, they're now fighting for P11. Charlie might not even make the finish. Don't know what's happened to him. He's dropped all the way from P9. And they're not going to swap.
Pole position for the next race?
P8 does. Nils gets it, so...
Oh, but yeah, it's for the 8 positions. I forgot. Sorry.
Peter takes P11. Did he run out of fuel or has he broke the car? What do we reckon here? I think he's run out of fuel.
Sure.
He's in neutral. He's definitely ran out of fuel.
Well,
oh, Charlie.
Sometimes it happens, a miscalculation. Because it is a timed event and he probably thought it was going to end about 30 seconds before.
And he does make the line. Well done to that man for making the line.
The car, literally.
Well done, Dave. Gets P13 in the P13 in the end. A little look at the results while we got the warm up. This is how they finished that one. So Brandon took the win. He will start P8 in the second one. Marcelo finished P2. Stefan takes P3. Sorry, Stefan, I always kept saying it. Stephen takes P3. Neil takes P4 in the end. Robert takes P5. P6 for Sebastian. Karim takes P7. Niels takes P8. And even with the 5 seconds, will stay there and takes pole for race number 2. So, of course, top 8 get reversed. So, it'll be Niels and Karim on the front row of the grid. Sebastian will start P3. Arjan takes P9, Kevin P10, Peter in the end takes P11 with Steve in P12, and Charlie Lord ran out of fuel and he's going out for some warm-up practice. I wonder if he's put a few more litres in the car for this one. Why don't we straight into the ways into race number 2? Have we got any bold predictions for who's going to win this one?
I'm not sure. Anything can happen in this series.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I'll give you that. Neil's there on pole. Lots of red cards, I must note, in this series. Charlie Lord at the beginning was thinking there was going to be too many blue and dark blue cars. Nope, red was the answer in the end. That's what everyone went for. Should we show the grid quick? We'll just show you how the reverse happens. So Niels will take pole, Karim will take P2, Sebastian P3, Robert P4, Neil P5, P6 for Stephen, and P7 for Marcelo, and P8 for Brandon. So that's how the reverse grid works for the top 8. Here we go. Reverse grid race, we know what that means. Carnage, absolute carnage, I think it's completely fair to say. And here we go. Their lights are on.
Green flag.
Who gets the best launch? It's kind of even. There's a lot going on at the back, I must say. I think Charlie's in and out, darting all around about the place, but
Robert already passed someone.
Robert's going to get Sebastian. Does he get Sebastian? They're side by side. They're fair racing between the two of them. I think Neil might get involved here. Neil's going to try and get Robert into turn 2. Oh, he's a little bit of a moment, but he will have him possibly. Depends on the exit. And the hairpin, I'd say he's ahead going down the straight. We'll see. I think Sebastian, Neil's gone to the outside. It's going to be difficult to go all the way around the outside there. Gives it a go. And I must admit, Neil has got past Robert. Marcelo's going to try and follow through. Not happening there. Robert defends well. A little bit close, but I think everybody has survived. A little bit close, just ahead, as we go through the chicane for the first time. And it looks good. Everybody looks through. And single file. But Nils is still in the lead, and the biggest gain I'd say was Neil there. In the end, good move from him. So Brandon and Moss.
Quite a few nudges are there before the hairpin, but overall everyone kept it safe, and still everyone's racing in the pack.
Yeah, everyone's racing in the pack. A few cars looking for moves, they're not able to do so. I think Peter Greenwood went wide on one of the corners and allowed a few cars through. Some with Kevin Burke may have followed him. But yeah, look how close it is between, this is the top 8 here, so the reverse grid lot. Again, they split into 2 almost, as Neil goes to the outside. Sebastian, that's not going to get done. Nope. Everyone has to stay as they are for now. The top 8 have sort of split away from the rest of the field. Some defending there from Sebastian in P3. He does well to defend. Neil not able to go through yet. Everybody moves around quite a lot. There's Robert! Oh, he's ready to keep on the deep. Neil's got deep. Robert's, I think, giving Marcelo a bit of a tap as well. A few things have gone on there. So Nils has gone deep, which has allowed the car through, and also maybe Sebastian. And Sebastian's almost defending as well as attacking. Nils gives some... Who's gone off?
He hit the wall.
Oh no, Sebastian's hit the wall. That's his race done from P2. Oh, he'll be furious. He just got into P2. That's a good spot for you there. Absolutely brilliant spot. At some point when they're maybe not bump drafting, we'll have a look at how he's done that. Robert gave Marcelo a bit of a nudge in the hairpin, which I'm sure will be looked at after he had a big moment on his brakes. I'm surprised, to be honest, that he didn't take anybody with him. Well, he ended up taking... Well, hitting Marcelo, which has dropped him behind Brandon, so that's a bit of a crucial thing for the race. The leader now, Karim, is gone after Neil went deep on the brakes, all on his own, really, completely. And now Neil's up the inside of him on turn 1. There's a bit of drifting, they're close. It's good racing door to door, they will bang doors, that's fair. Brandon's going to try and get Robert. There's still a little bit of banging doors.
It's still side by side. But look at all the movement that's happening in the front.
Look at this, and now Brandon actually has managed to get the inside now on Robert on the hairpin, so that's crucial. Neil still has to try and find a way around the outside. And Marcelo has found the inside on Robert as well. There you go. He may have got hit by him a lap ago, but this time up the inside. And I'd say he should have P5 by the chicane. We'll stick with that just in case. Everybody side by side, really side by side between Neil. Neil's got the inside. He's actually got past. He hasn't yet. They're still side by side for the whole of the chicane. Brandon's going to get the run on all of them. Brandon has touched Nils. It's a bit of netcode. They're both in the wall. There's nothing Brandon could have done. Or Nils, I think that may have been netcode. They're stranded in the middle of the road. And that's taken Steve with them. That one will be looked after. Definitely at the end of the race. What's going on at the front then? Marcelo is taking Nils, which has gone off. Robert's decided that the grass has a lot of grip as well. It's just cars everywhere. And Marcelo's in P2. Robert is side by side for P3. Brandon ended up going back onto the middle of the road. And then the rest of the field obviously had to try and pass them. And I think Steve collected Brandon with nowhere where Steve could go. And so Steve and Brandon both out of this race. Nils out of this race as well. And Brandon has such a better run than Nils and all of that. But to be honest, I don't think they touched. I think that was netcode from the first look, so which put them both out. And then the rest is completely unfortunate. So good luck to the shooters from that. But I would have, from the first look, it looked... Oh, the drift from Neil! He's nearly spinning! Oh, he's actually nailed the hairpin from that. How about that?
While this is all happening for P2, Karim in first place has got a huge advantage ahead of him.
Yeah, he's got...
I help him. You just need to keep it for more 10 minutes, like this.
Yeah, 10 minutes in his first race. He could end up with a reverse grid win if he just keeps it as it is, once I would
Now
say...
Marcelo,
Go on.
the race winner of Heat 1, is coming to catch him. Can he do it?
This is also throwing up the championship a little bit as well. With Brandon having a crash, he won't score in this one. I'd be surprised. He might come back out. You never know. We never know.
Oh yes, it was Brandon.
But Marcelo
So was
P2.
P2. Yes.
Yeah, but it could be big for the standings. Leaving here, you never know. It could if Marcelo's now again, obviously in P2 again here. Good, all the points. Also, bonus points for the amount of laps led and most laps led. So Marcelo's got the fast lap point there. Steve's coming back up the pits now as well, which Brandon also has rejoined just in front of the pack. So that's all good timing. But Brandon there just returns in front of the pack. Steve returns mid-pack just behind. So we'll see how Brandon negotiates this. A few blue flags and he just pull over. Let's have a little look. And he does perfectly here, pull over. He's going to try not to let Steve through, I'd think. But Steve's going to... Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Brandon's just let everybody go. He's not going to get involved in all that. He'll also let Charlie when he catches him.
It's not his race anymore.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah, he's a good driver, Brandon. He knows that this is not his fight now. I'm not getting involved at all. Yeah, that was a bit chaotic. I'm trying to think now. That's a lot gone on there. A lot has gone on there. A lot of people do kick.
We see the incident. Oh, there's a change of position.
Oh,
back
Kevin and Costa having. I think Kevin goes off here, but he's passed. Let's have a little look, shall we? I think they're about to sort it out, but let's have a little look at what happens initially. So Costa on the inside, Kevin. Costa goes up the inside. Kevin turns in, door to door. I'd say that's Costa's. Yeah, Costa takes it. And that's fair. Costa's let him back through, which I'm kind of surprised about, because in fairness to Costa there, he was there. He was stopped, he made the corner as well, so I'm surprised he's let him back through, but he decided that he would, and they continue to fight for P8. Stephen Fry now, on the back of Robert and past him. Robert went off on turn 1. It's not over though, is it?
He's back ahead.
Good racing here. Oh no, Charlie Lord's gone off again. In the background in the gravel, I can see him. Oh, he's gone off by himself, I think, and he's found the wall. Let's have a little look at what Charlie Lord's done. Yeah, all on his own. Comfortable. Is he touched the grass? Oh, what's happened? I don't know what's happened there for Charlie. He finds the wall eventually. And that's Charlie's race probably done. He's not had the best return. And where is he ended up? Apparently he's come back on the road, actually, in P7. It says he's crashed again. So I think he's actually ended up... Maybe he's just parked it. He keeps telling me he's crashed. So unless he's continuing to try and drive with something that's broken, which I wouldn't be too surprised if something's definitely broken. And there's a few notifications there. Brandon passes Steve for P12. It's close still for Stephen and Robert for P4, almost pushing him there. The stewards said drive through for 31 for, due to not respecting yellow flag. So that's realistic. So that's the incident after the incident. That's the mayhem that unfolded between Steve and Brandon. And yeah, I think that's what they've come up with there. And in the pit does go Charlie. So I think he continued with a bit of a broken car after finding the tyre barriers. But let's have a look at maybe Costa and Kevin as Steve drifts in the background. They continue to fight, by the way, for P8. And Kevin's still ahead. We will go try and find that incident again and have a couple of looks at it. Because we're going to need it as Costa has a little bit of a moment. So I think they'll stay as they are now. Stephen, go on the back of Robert. We'll have a little look, see if he goes for a move. If not, I'm just going to quickly go find the incident.
Also, keep in notice, Marcelo has been catching Karim for first place 8/10 per lap.
8/10 per lap. Ooh, we're
8/10 per
on...
lap, so he can do it. He can actually catch the leader.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, you're completely right. He definitely could.
You're free to appeal it after the race, but the car was stationary.
Meanwhile, Neil has the fastest lap.
Neil has the fast lap now, so that's an extra point. Of course, Niels will have a point for leading a lap. Most laps at the moment led would probably go Karim. So fast lap goes to Neil in P3. So the extra points are going absolutely everywhere for this reverse grid race. Steven's still on the back of Robert. Marcelo has the fast lap now. He's just taking it back. So that's trading.
Look, 8/10 again. Faster than Karim. Only 2 seconds now behind. So he needs about 3 to 4 laps to be in range of Karim to pass him.
And he's got
Can he do it?
3 laps as well. I'd say. We did 11 laps in the first race. I think we'll do 11 again. We're on lap 8, so he's got that exact amount of laps. Now, can he pass him when he gets there is the question. Well, I want to stick with Steven here, but I'm not sure if he's going to pass him or not, so I kind of want to go back and have a little look, but...
He's being a bit too cautious. He's not going to risk it.
Yeah, he's not... Yeah, you're right. He's definitely not risking
Maybe
it.
trying to cause Robert to do a mistake.
Right, I think we've got a perfect time here to have a little look. This is it then. What do we think? We have a few couple looks of this, and that's look number 1. That's a destroyed car.
Can't tell. I need to see it from the Brandon's perspective.
Brandon, yeah, I agree.
But something happened as well. Like someone crashed here.
There, right there. Bang. That's that one.
Come on. Need to be careful when they're yellow, especially with like stop cars.
So we'll have a look now at Brandon's view. Is this Brandon's view? Let's hang on. It's got a different one. That's not a better one. That's not a better one. That's not better. What about Gyro? What do we think of
You
Gyro?
go backwards?
Yes.
I'm keeping an eye on this still. And Stephen is trying on the outside of the hairpin, but still nothing happening. You're not missing much, as they are still all in the same positions.
Lovely. We have another little... Try and find exactly the right angle. I love it. It keeps trying to show me from this one.
Exactly. Yeah.
How about this one? Is that any better? Probably not any better. That's not. Would a chopper? That might be a little better. No, this is the chopper view. That's funny.
I think we should go back to the view. I think this is something gonna happen with the leaders. They are super close now.
There you go. He's got to him. Now can he pass him?
Just needs one more lap.
He's got a few more than one. Neil's coming with them as well. It's going to be a three-way fight for this. Costa's got Arjan to deal with, and I think Arjan is right on the back of Costa for P8 and now past him as well. So Arjan up to P8, so Costa's lost another place. But here the fight is continuing. And there's a drift from Marcelo, but he's got it well under control. And Costa's actually, I think, just crashed, sadly, from P13. I think he has, that's unfortunate. Down to P13 he goes from P8.
They three are super close to each other. Maybe Karim can lose more than one place, maybe 2. Just needs to really defend hard now.
Yeah. Defending the inside now.
This is a hard corner to overtake. Is he gonna try it? No, he won't.
All about the exits here. We're going to go on to the final lap. Oh no, he's got one then. He's on the back of him now, but he's going to have... There's a look there. I'll be surprised.
Ooh.
He's got to be cautious.
Not gonna be.
He has to be. He's got Niels to deal with as well, you know what I mean? He's got to defend, look, he's got to attack and defend. Marcelo's got quite a lot to do here in this final lap if he wants to win this. It could be 0-0 as well. He's got to be really cautious that he doesn't throw all the points away, but he wants to win. He's not going to take 2 seconds. He'd prefer to get a win in the reverse race. Here we go then. Final lap of the race. It's free for the lead. This is quite intense here. Who is going to have this? Put your money on now. Oh, it's about a minute until we find out. They're all going to slightly drift through turn 2. He's done well there. If he just covers the inside for the hairpin, 5 seconds for number 10, post-race number 10. Do we have number... Arjan? Arjan's got 10 for a 5, sorry, for I assume that is with 28. That's Costas. That's probably why Costas down. And Marcelo has found the inside on the exit of the hairpin. Surely, unless Karim can try and keep round the outside of the chicane, it's going to be difficult for him. He can do it. He's still got the inside. He's still there. Marcelo on the inside again. It's almost a carbon copy of what we saw a minute ago. It is a carbon copy of what we saw a minute ago, but this time, no incident. Where is Niels going to go? They're going to be side by side up the hill.
Karim has more speed. He can maybe do it now. He can keep the lead.
To the inside for Marcelo. No, Karim, he's going to go deep. He's kept on the road. Marcelo have a better run. Oh, is it going to be? Here comes Neil as well. Niels can't find a way through. It's a cry. The brakes. All about the exit. They're close. Did they touch? Maybe slightly. Oh, no, Niels turned Karim. Oh, no. Marcelo takes the win. Karim gets spun on the last turn. Neil waits for him. Robert gets P2 in the end. Somehow he passes Stephen. Not a clue how that's happened at all. Karim finally gets it out of the wall.
Involving 3 cars in investigation.
Oh, that's unfortunate for... I think... Did Neil wait for him? He ended up crossing line anyway. Karim will get P5, but a win was on the cards until the final corner. And then he's not even been turned by P2. It was P3 in the end. That was extremely unfortunate for Karim. Absolutely. Peter takes P6. Kevin P7, P8 for Arjan. Sebastian ended up coming back.
It was so unfortunate for Karim. He had the opportunity to at least have a podium on his first race. Sadly, it all went on the last corner. Second last corner. Let's see.
There's a little moment there. Oh, we're going to see it just behind the note tree. And he just gets... Neil just turns him around on the exit, not meaning to at all. And of course it is under investigation, but...
Great camera angle.
Yeah, straight in the trees.
Yes.
It was close.
F1 race director.
Yeah, close between these two. I'm not sure if they touched or not. I think...
They did nudge a bit.
I think
because Karim didn't give enough space, but this one, I don't think it's Karim's fault.
Oh no, not at
He was
all.
already on the outside completely.
Oh, it's not a better view than that one, sadly.
Yeah, Neil just comes with an immense speed. Unfortunately, look, there's a nudge. See?
Yeah, slight one from Marcelo. Slows him down, and then Neil's got more speed because of that and because of the line. He has braked once he's done it and has tried to slow up, but I don't think Neil ended up hitting the wall, but that's extremely unfortunate for him. Robert, in all of that, by the way, somehow got P2, and I don't know when he passed Stephen. We'll have a little look to find it, because he ends up passing Stephen, which initially was for P4, but ends up being for P2 in the end, which he could not have imagined. This is how Robert got technically P2 then.
Did Neil get a time penalty? I mean...
post race for 38, so Neil gets a 10. Gets a 10-second. We'll have a look at the results and exactly see where that puts him. So that's how Robert got past Stephen on the last lap. Stephen went a bit deep and allowed Robert through, which ended up being for P2. Because it all got a bit crazy. Or was that? No, that may not have been that move, but... let me just have a little look at things. And... yeah, I think that was the move. That was absolutely crazy. Now, let's see then. Results, and we said that he got a time penalty as well. Let's have a little... butchers. That got crazy in the end. So 10 seconds for Neil puts him... no, he stays in P4. Karim will stay P5. Absolutely crazy end to that. It was going to be... it was close. Yeah, well, thank you very much for joining me. I think I hope you enjoyed that one, to be honest with you.
It was an exciting race. Even though it was my first race commentating, I did it because, I wanted to help anyway.
Yeah, it was good. It was great. yeah, though I feel bad, massively bad for Krim there. He had that, and then got turned at the very end. Nothing he can do. I'm sure him and Neil will have a discussion. Neil might even apologise that it was close racing though, we must admit that. I want to just have a little look at how close, this is the top three. Top three.
Also fight for first place on the
last lap.
even last corners.
Yeah. It's close.
They had to push everything to get that position.
And there was racing that entire last lap there was side by side racing, so it's massively unfortunate how it's ended up ending, but yeah, that's sadly racing.
Can be proud the defending he did on that whole lap from Marcelo, which seemed to be the clearly faster car, the lead, but he gave him a hard time, right down to the last corners. Yeah,
he definitely did. Unfortunate for Karim, he definitely deserved at least a podium there, so hopefully we'll see him again next week, and Snettison 300, I think it was fantastic. Hopefully we'll see you again next week as well. I'm sure you'll maybe either be here or stewarding. We'll see what Gerard's obviously doing.
Yes, we'll see.
Thank you very much for joining. Thank you everyone for watching as well. I hope you all enjoyed. That was some great action for the 2 50-minute races of absolute pure. Race 1 was carnage in the midfield, fantastic racing. We had a few incidents in the reverse grid as normal, but close incidents as well. A lot of side-by-side racing ones, and fantastic final lap. Unfortunately how it ended in the end, but yeah, really good racing from Oulton Park. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next week for Snettison 300.